Hi everybody, it's Lisa from Lisa's Paper Passion. I was asked by a friend to do a tutorial on stick pins, and although I told her I'm not an expert and there are so many different ways of doing stick pins out there that is just crazy, and as anything in our crafting world, you know, your imagination and creativity go a long way. I just started making stick pins about a year ago when a friend introduced me to them, and she even provided me the stick pins because I had no idea what they were, where to get them from, or anything to that matter. But I did see some being used on projects, and I just fell in love with it, and I started making it. And you know, stick pins, like I said, there's so many different ways to do them that it can be overwhelming, but I just started with some basic ones. I don't remember if I have all the basic ones that I've done. I'm going to move my channel sign so you could see. I tried to put in front of you all the stick pins that I've had and made and people have made for me, friends that I've made for me, so you can kind of get an example of what's out there, because there's just, of course, so many stick pin tutorials and everything on YouTube, but just, you know, just a quick tutorial from me to you on kind of how I set my area up to make stick pins. And stick pins are usually, for me, I love making it, but you have to sit down and make a bunch. I don't just make for one project, because I think once you sit down, you kind of get in the groove of it, and you get all your beads and goodies out. Like I've got my stuff ready here, and you kind of just start making it. Yesterday, a couple of days ago, I was at Michael's, and I have all sorts of beads, but sometimes you just want to work with colorful stuff, and I got this crafting bead assortment. I don't know how many there's in there. The bottom's kind of hollow, but oh, this will give you kind of a good idea on what's in there. And these are not the most expensive beads in the world, but if you're starting out and you just want to kind of make some fun beads, and you're in a swap or something that, or just, you know, want to send a few to your friend, this is a good economical way to make them. Because this was, I think it was $5.99. Actually, I have my receipt right here. It was $6.99, and then I had a 40% off, so I ended up getting it for $4. So with this $4, you could make so many stick pins. And just to start us off, these are the stick pins I made yesterday with these beads. So as you can see, my son loves saying that when he writes. As you can see, it's so cute. You know, it looks like I haven't even opened it, but I've already made 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 pins. And I did once in some beads I used other things, but like this one I used it like a pearl bead. So anyway, just to kind of give you an example of where you can go from just this if you're just starting out. Now, the stick pins themselves, they're the same size, and this is my little stick pin holder. These are really good investment if you're getting into beading or stick pins. It just kind of holds everything together. And I like this one because the compartments, and probably most of them are like that. I think I got this from Walmart, I'm not sure. But it allows you to store the stick pins, which are longer than a regular pin. Like this is a regular pin that you would use for sewing, and a stick pin is much larger than that. As you know, you could see visually how much larger that is. So your first step in making stick pins is to get the stick pins. And as far as these run-of-the-mill stick pins themselves, like these ones and these ones, these two I got from Joann's. And they're not in the crafting section, they're in a wedding section, because I think they're called corsage pins, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what they really are. They're corsage pins, and they're fairly tall. Let's measure them together. They are about, dropping them, including the head of the pin, it's about 3 inches, so they're pretty long. Now, I did get a few. I scored a few at a scrapbook expo when they were here in Ontario, California last year, and I don't remember the name of the vendor, But I was able to get a couple of boxes of this, and I'm kind of running low on them, so I'm hoping to find them again. And these are really pretty because they kind of start you out, you know, with the top of it. So they didn't have any other colors. It was kind of a clearance deal, and I just bought everything they had. I bought some for myself and some for a good friend. So this, I said, is kind of like a good start. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's other stick pins or corsage pins out there. This one, see, is much bigger. This one goes to about 3.5 inches, even with the tall head. That's like three kind of pearl things already on there for you. So it's really fun to get these and to create with them. So I kind of have organized my beads in a certain way, and this is, not to say the least, the only thing of beads that I have. I have this one. Let me pull it up, my camera up, so you can kind of get an idea. So this is one assortment of beads that I have. And then on top of that, I'm going to put the other one. And I know there's people out there that have like a million of these. I do have some charms in there that are not really beads with holes in it, but I kind of just like to keep it all together. So when I'm doing stick pins, let me put you back down here. I kind of get all my supplies together, all my beads and everything I want to use depending on what my mood. I'm just going to check something on my phone real quick. Sorry about that. I had to run downstairs because I was cooking something and I could smell it and I didn't want it to burn. So anyway, like I was saying, when I'm going to do, catch my breath, stick pins, I kind of get all my beads out as supplies, and then I usually have like my jar of pins here and my, don't laugh, my little tuna can. So I have pearls and beads and stuff everywhere. I just kind of keep around. Now you can make your stick pins. Here's some examples. I want to show you a bunch of examples before I show you how to make it, which is super easy. You can make ones that are very ornate, gorgeous. Like, look at these ones. My friend Gladys makes the most gorgeous stick pins, and actually she should be doing a tutorial. But I humbly accepted to make one. So she makes the most gorgeous, she uses the most gorgeous beads, and I don't have a big collection of these fancy beads and spacers, as I think they call them, but I work with what I have. Like this one's one of mine, very simple. Let's see, I'm going to show you this one. I think I've showed you on video before, but since we're on the topic of stick pins, I'm going to bend this down. This is a mason jar that she made for me with my favorite tomato cushion on top of it that I'm learning to do. But look at these gorgeous stick pins. I'm sorry they're sideways. I don't want to take them out. So those are the more ornate ones. You can go all out and they're just beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So that's what I aspire to make one day. Now there's different theories on how to put the stick pins together. Some people make them with glossy accents because once they dry you can barely see them. Other people use your normal glue gun. The glue gun's easy, but if you're going to make it with the glue gun, be careful because once it dries, you can see the glue. So it just, you know, it all depends on your mood. I've found the more that I make these, like the ones I made yesterday, these are from Glossy Accents, with glossy accents, and you can't even tell that I used it. And I think from what I've tried and experimented, I use glossy accents on my stick pins because I just think that for me it's the best way to go. So let's make a few. Okay, I'm going to grab, see, once you get started, you want to make a million of them, but I want to keep this video pretty short and I'm already at 9 minutes. I know I did a lot of talking. So I'm going to make one with my green. We'll make one gold and a couple of the other ones. Sorry, that's my timer for what I was cooking. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. So let's see. Okay, we'll make like 4 or 5 of them. See, my friend Gladys gave me a bunch of these beautiful beads that she uses on hers. And I'm learning how to use these more and more. So I kind of hoard them for now because like I said, I'm learning how to use it. So for now, I don't really use them that much. Except yesterday I was using these little ones. These ones in between, and they really kind of space things out and make things really pretty. So I'm going to set that aside. Got my glossy accents ready. So everything you're going to be doing is upside down because of gravity. Of course, everything is going to fall. So if you ever made bracelets or anything, it's kind of the same thing. You beat them on there. So let me see what, oops, sorry about that. I think I'll keep my camera like that. That way you can see. And this is my first pin cushion I ever made, which is the next addiction. Once you start making pins, you need to start making pin cushions so it could hold all your pins together. Okay, let's see. What am I in the mood to make? And the fun things also while I'm looking for beads is you can, get dangles and all sorts of things going on with your stick pins. Okay, as you can hear, I'm kind of digging around. Okay, let's see. Did I get a green one? Okay, so we're going to start with this green one. So what I do, that was extremely close. Put a little dot and kind of move I'm moving it around with my finger. So you want to get the little dot distributed all around. You're basically going to layer them and put a little bit of a glue. See, I got my first one down. And I don't really plan what I'm going to make. I just sit down and kind of watch YouTube or veg out and just start making them. Let's see, put one of these in here. So we got this. And as far as, how far to go down on your stick pin, it all depends. I mean, I wouldn't really go far down because, when you're using these, you're going to take the stick pin that's made and then put them in a project. So you don't want them all the way down because if you put the goodies and beads all the way down, then it's kind of hard to stick in projects unless you want to, and that's that's what you want to do with it. So for this one, since this is pretty tall, I probably can get away with a couple more on here. A lot of my beads I find at the thrift store. You just buy a necklace and then take it apart. And then sometimes like this I found at Hobby Lobby. These are pretty giant beads. This was like $2 for all this, which is pretty good because you can make a bunch of stick pins. I mean, you're not going to use all of this big piece on a stick pin. And then I think I'm going to put one last one. I kind of look at the colors that I want to coordinate with, and I think I want to put a clear one or a little pink one on the bottom. I think pink and green go well. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to put a little bit more on the bottom. And then we want this to dry because the glossy accents is going to take a while. So what I do is I just kind of usually lean it on something. Make sure that it doesn't fall. See how it's leaning like that? And that way it dries like that. Now, my friend Gladys came up of a way. She's so creative. She came up with like a way to take a styrofoam, like a piece of styrofoam. And then once she's done with the stick pins, she kind of all sticks them down. And it doesn't stick to the styrofoam, the layer we put on the bottom. And it just dries like that overnight. So I just have to get my hands on some styrofoam and do that. Okay, let's make a gold one. So we're going to do the same thing. Put a few down on the bottom. I like gold and pink together. I think that it goes a lot. Very pretty. So I got a pink bead right there. Put a little bit more. I like using glossy accents because it dries pretty fast. Wow, look at this giant bead. And you could also experiment, like if you feel like you want to put this in there. Wow. Like I wouldn't necessarily put something giant like that towards the middle. If you're going to use a giant bead like that, which, is really fun to use, I would kind of make it the focus. So maybe the next one we'll use the giant one. But let me refresh that there. And I'm looking for something gold. Oh, no, that's too bright. Oh, this is kind of neat. I like this one. Ooh, this is really pretty. So this is not necessarily big, but it'll work. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to put that against there to lean. Now we're going to do a giant one as I promised. I kind of like, here, let's try this out. Oh, I kind of like it like that. Okay, let's do it like that. Another gold one. And something like that, I probably will not use anything else. Let's see if we put this one on the bottom and see how it'll look. Yeah, it's kind of too much and the gold doesn't match. So something like that, see, because I have a already decorated stick pin, it really doesn't need much. Now this is a pretty heavy bead, so you want to kind of go heavy on the glossy accents, see? I know it looks kind of goopy right now, but I think once it dries out, and this one I'm going to put right there to dry. I put that one there, right here. It's on timeout. So let me see. What else can we do? I think I'm going to switch to my other beads tray because I'm kind of getting tired of those ones. And let's make, okay, I'm at the 16-minute mark. I think we'll make one more and then call it a day. So I'm going to use this one. It's kind of like a sparkly one. Put a little bit right there. This one's gonna be my disco ball one. I'll call it my disco ball one. So we got this disco ball on the top. And then I kind of want to stick to the silver theme. So I think purple will go well with this one. I'm going to use one of these spacers. I think that's what they're called. Put that in there. Kind of holds the beads together. I think that works good like that. Okay, now you can also put something else after this. Let me see if I have a clear one. Okay, I think this one will work. I just got a clear one. Okay, I think that one looks nice, and you can kind of hold it up to look at it. So in a matter of a few minutes, we've already made 4 and they're drying. And I hope this gives you an idea on how to make stick pins. They're really fun to make. They're not hard at all. It's just, like I said, use your imagination and, you know, work your way up from affordable beads and then, you know, invest in other ones. There's so many out there. Like this one's one of my favorite ones and it makes for a beautiful bead. I hope I have helped you out to inspire you to go start making your own stick pins. They're really fun to use for projects. You can even use things like this. Here, I'll show you. See, then that becomes a little flower and you can put some more beads under there. Have fun. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to share what I know. Thank you so much for all my subscribers for watching. Thank you for that individual asking me to do a tutorial. I am humbled to make one. And sorry about that. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful